Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Minneapolis, Minnesota U.S. Bank Stadium for Ducks Little Bash World Finals 1. I'm your host, Ethan Isaac. In the next 2 hours, we will witness the biggest event for Ducks Little Bash. I'd like to thank each and every supporter out there for the support on this tour. This tour wouldn't have made it this far without the followers in my team. Speaking of followers, I'd like to thank everyone that submitted questions on our Instagram today. Once again, I appreciate the countless positive feedback on this tour. Alright, it is time to introduce our drivers who are in this conference, as we start off with Zach Indizana and Son of a Digger. Next up, coming to the stage is Andrew Martinez and Grey Digger. On our left, we have your points leader, Mason Funk and Bakugan Dragonoid. Our third competitor is Alfredo Moya and Zombie. Next up, we have Fifi K-Rez and Lucas Stabilizer. And last but not least, it is Julian DeShazier and El Toro Loco. Now, our first questions will be to our two-wheel skills competitors. Two-wheel skills is finally debuting as a competition for our World Finals. I'd like to ask, how does it compare to racing and freestyle in terms of how competitive it is? Starting us off is your points champion, Mason Funk.
Yeah, well, skills is very unique because there's only like a certain amount of skills you can do in the two-wheel skills, such as bicycles, moonwalks, slap wheelies. So certain drivers have their own skill sets in this competition, meaning that some might not be good at certain moves, but some are better than other moves. So they can all get their own advantage in their own skill set for this specific competition.
Now, Zach, you are also in the two-wheel skills competition. Could you give us a perspective on the competition for two-wheel skills?
I mean, for two-wheel skills, there's only 6 drivers, but they are the best of the best, so it's trench boxes to do like these moonwalks, and there's some places for bicycles, but I think this is gonna be um, an interesting competition. I think we'll see a lot of the same moves, but some creative moves. But it'll be fun.
Now we will switch to Andrew Martinez in Gravedigger.
If I'm being honest, one of the best guys here all around, and probably my biggest threat, is Mason Funk in Bakugan Dragonoid. That guy is an all-around driver, like I said. He's mad fast at racing. He's cracked at skills. And for freestyle, just look at how many freestyles he's won so far this season. Overall, I think he's, the main target for me to try to win this whole thing. If I want to win, I'm going to have to be better than him. And he knows it. Everybody knows it. If they want to win, you've got to be better than Mason Funk in Bakugan Dragonoid.
Alfredo, after this long season of carnage, do you think we'll see something crazy this evening?
There are lots of things that can go on this crazy track, lots of possibilities. Everything can go down, anything can really happen. I'm just hoping for the best for me, honestly, but racing ain't my thing. Two wheels, freestyle, I'm trying to dominate. I'm coming for your ass, Mason.
Alright, let's hear it for Alfredo Moya in Zombie. Now, Fifi K-Res, do you think the competition was so competitive from San Diego all the way to Salt Lake City? And could you tell us what it was like going up against these top competitors each week?
It feels like it. It feels like it. The only time I won was racing in, I think Ocala. It was the last time I run there. And I went winless. But it was competitive. I had a good time. I might want to do an encore here. Special debut, another truck for the next season in my choice. It's either Crockett's or Wrenches. Or anything I choose.
Alright, now Julian DeShazer, this is for you. How does it feel to debut for the first time here in Ducks Little Bash for the first World Finals?
First off, Ethan, let me say that I am very excited to have been invited to compete for World Finals. I know I'm a little bit of a late minute replacement because, we're in World Finals week. But, I feel pretty great, and honestly, I'm pretty excited because, first time I'm competing in this tour, and considering how I've seen everything before it during the season, and seeing that it's very different in terms of not only track, but also in terms of the order, or at least the lineup of trucks. It's very unique, but I cannot lie, I'm pretty intrigued to see what I can do with El Toro. It's kind of rare I ever drive El Toro in certain rigs of rods tours. Last time we did was RMJL, but I'm not really going to get into that a lot. Anyway, racing, I think I might do decent in. I'm not always known as a very great racer, so there's that. But then again, if I know my history, freestyle I might have some good tricks up my sleeve. And considering how that track is laid out, yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride for me and El Toro Loco this Friday. So honestly, I'm pretty excited, and I can also not wait for next season because who knows what I might drive next.
We are proud to have you here today and are excited to see how you do in today's World Finals. Now, Mason, I know you've won the series points, but do you think you have a sense of hunger for the World Finals Championship?
Yeah, I've been trying to get there the entire season, working my ass off so bad. Everyone's so competitive, but I'm just trying to bring it all back to this one spot. This one final stop of the entire season, the World Finals. So we're going to see if I can bring it home tonight for maybe 2 or even 3 of competitions.
Zach, could you tell us your game plan in hopes of winning a championship tonight?
Um, for racing, honestly, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try my best on that one, but I definitely got some competition. Um, for two-wheel skills, I might utilize a trench box or something. We'll see. I haven't really thought out that yet, but it should be interesting. And then for freestyle, I'm gonna just go all out. I'm not really gonna have a game plan. Um, it's something new. I usually have pre-planned things, but I think I'm just gonna go all out this time. See what happens. Hope for the best.
Now, Mushi, can you tell us what your thoughts are on the track today and here tonight?
I really like it. I mean, it's the colors are nice. I don't think we haven't used them before. I don't know about any other toys that have used it. It looks really nice. I like this style of racing. I haven't seen it um in a while actually, but it'll be fun for all the drivers.
Now, I'd like to ask each and every one of you on who you think is going to be the biggest threat in this World Finals in general. Starting from left to right, we'll start with you, Alfredo Moya.
Obviously, myself or Andrew Martinez. Mason Funk kind of sucks, so I don't think he'll be doing anything useful. Mushy, he's kind of butt too. Beefy, don't even get me started with him. Yeah, I think I'm gonna dominate this entire thing.
Oh, some good competition here tonight. We'll go to you next, Mushy Zachman.
I think my biggest competition, probably, I'd say, definitely Andrew. He's been a really good racer, and he goes crazy in freestyle. So, and we'll see what he pulls off this weekend. But I think he's definitely my biggest competition.
Now, Mason Funk, #1 overall series champion. Who do you think's your biggest threat here tonight?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna answer that too, but to Alfredo, if I raced you at all this weekend, you're getting destroyed. Anyway, yeah, my biggest threat is probably Andrew Martinez. He's probably the most consistent, not this season at least. But you know what? He's usually pretty good. He burns it down in freestyle. Racing is his thing. However, this track, whenever he races on these kind of tracks, he makes a mistake. So I'm not that worried. But if he doesn't make a mistake, he's gonna win no matter what.
And that's what we like to hear, the courage throughout the driver's mind. Thank you, Mason Funk. All right, we'll hear from the other side of the table from Fifi Kavers.
Mason and Andrew, Mason rocked the entire season of Ducks Little Bash. Andrew defeated him and won racing in CES. I don't know how I'm gonna do with this track. I feel I'm already gonna lost. Like, this track is complicated for me. This track is complicated.
So we'll go to our next competitor, which is Julian DeSager, and see what's his thoughts on his competition here tonight. Julian?
Ooh, this is actually a very good question. Huh. Because you see, there is a lot of great people, standing here, and it's very hard to choose. I think in terms of the racing competition, I might have to slightly give it to Mason Funk. Mostly due to the fact that, considering how this track is laid out, I know for a fact that he's going to have some good speed and some good laps, and, if y'all know how he operates, he is going to be one heck of a competitor to see, and I think he might have my vote to win racing in general, but who knows what can happen on Friday. Then there's freestyle. I think one of the biggest threats here might have to be Great Prower. Hear me out though. I mean, let's be fair here. Great Prower is a very great competitor, and I've driven alongside him a lot. I mean, we even had a team for ourselves, had a certain point, and honestly, he is one heck of a freestyler when it comes to it. Once he has the right speed and the right momentum, yeah, he can give down a killer freestyle. And I think he might be the biggest threat there. So I think great power for freestyle and Mason Funk for racing. So those are my picks.
All right, Andrew. Seems that everyone has a target on your back right now. Who do you think is your threat in this tour right now?
Now, with that being said, Mason Funk, of course, it's no news. He is the biggest threat. Besides me, don't want to toot my own horn, but coming after a win, I feel like I'm the favorite to come in here and win this racing competition. But besides Mason, it's got to be Zach Antizana in Son of a Digger. That guy is also always on top of everything. He's always making sure he's got everything tuned, everything right. He's level-headed at all times. Rarely has any mess-ups. So if it's not me, if it's not Mason, my bet's on Zach Antizana.
All right, folks, that will do it for the regular questions, as we will be getting into your fan questions. Now, Mason, this question is for you. English or Spanish?
English.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to our next question. And this one's for everyone here tonight in this panel. And the question is, what's the best place to edge? All right, I don't know what edge means and all that stuff, but we'll go to your drivers and see what their answers are. Starting with Mushy Zachman.
Right at Monster Jam.
All right. Let's hear it from Mushy Zachman and his answer. Now, coming up next, to answer that question on where to edge, it is Alfredo Moya in Zombie.
Definitely a daycare.
All right. We'll go to your next competitor, Fifi K-Rez.
All right, question.
Did you say crustacean? Is that what you said?
No.
Oh.
What's the question?
Oh, he said. All right. This is what he said. What's the best place to edge, Fifi K-Rez?
What do you mean edge? What do you mean edge?
I don't know. These kids are asking me these questions, so totally up to you.
If you meant by competition, any venue I don't care. Las Vegas and either Las Vegas or Seattle. I don't care. If it's venues, I'll accept.
All right, man. Good to hear. Okay, Mason Funk, where is the last place you want to edge?
Alright, I have two answers to that question. Number one is the theater. Number two, a very comfy couch with a big cooling on the bottom of the chair.
All right, Mason Funk, that was a good answer. All right, Andrew Martinez, where's the best place to edge?
Now, this last question, it's a question I really didn't want to have to answer. It's a bit too personal, but I've got to say, back in the pits the other night when we were before we got our truck set up here in the pits, we were back on our trailer, and I ended up hanging out in one of our competitor's trailer, Mason, and his mom was there. And honestly, he doesn't know this, but one of the best places to edge was sorry, Mason, but your mom's room. And that's what I'll say, and that's all I'll leave it at. I don't want to get into it any further, but that's my answer. Sorry, Mason.
All right, our last question is for Mason. And the question is it pink?
Well, it's kind of like a beige, whitish color, but
All right, folks, that will do it for our panel questions here, as we have a special announcement for the future of our tour here in DLB. That is right, folks. DLB is going on a journey back to 2019 to the 2020 era for off-season events. 14 competitors will face each other on these different tracks, which means every event will see a new track, meaning an off-season is confirmed for DLB. However, it will not be every week. More information and teasers will be posted very soon. But that will wrap up our discussion here at DLB Press Conference. I'm your host, Ethan Isaac, and welcome to Ducks Little Bash World Finals 1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Live Me. We are live here in Minneapolis right now, as we will be getting started into our second stream, which will showcase our actual World Finals competition, so don't go anywhere. Two Wheel Skills is going to start any minute now.